Mr. Madan and Jagadish, good evening. Yes. Right.
Hello, Mr. Salam. Hello. Hello, Mr. Salam. Hello, Mr. Salam. We are new or practically somewhat. Sometimes it is, sometimes it is. Hello. 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 Hello.
Shall we start? Yes, yes, sir. Fine.
ஹலோ
Hello, sir.
சார் கேக்குதா?
கேக்குது ஜெகதீஷ்.
ஓகே ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணலாம் சார்.
Okay. Mr. Madan. Mr. Madan, are you hear my voice? Mr. Soni, shall we start?
Yes, 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 no. Let's start. Can you hear me?
Jagadish, கேக்குதா?
சார் குட் ஈவினிங்
கேக்குது
சார்.
சார்.
கேக்குது
கேக்குதா?
சார்.
கேக்குது சார்.
Okay. Okay. So today we are discussing about that transformer losses and equivalent circuit. Next we go to that DC machines. So losses. So in general, these machines, electrical machines, is classified into two halves. One is a static device, another is a rotating device. And similarly, the losses. Losses is classified into core losses, copper losses, and mechanical losses. We have three losses are there, not only for the DC machines, AC machine transformer. Commonly, the losses are classified into core losses, copper losses, mechanical losses. Now we discuss about the transformer. So transformer is a static device, so there is no mechanical losses. So in the rotating machines, for DC generator, DC motor, AC generator, AC motor, these three losses will occur. So now for transformer, we have two losses, copper losses and iron losses. The same losses which is applicable for DC machines also, DC, AC machines also. This core loss or iron loss, sometimes we call it fixed loss. And the copper loss, sometimes we call as a variable loss.
Hello, Mr. Selvam? Mr. Selvam? Hello?
So here fixed variable. How we say it's a fixed variable depends upon the load. The load is ideal, no load or load increases, whatever may be, irrespective of the load, this core losses does not change. So that's why we call as a core losses. That means like this. If load increases, this core loss is constant. For zero load or maximum load, always the core loss is constant. And variable losses is depends upon the load. The load is nothing but we have a I square R. In general, we say I square R loss. That means if load increases means this losses also increases by I square into R. That is, in general, simply we have a square loss. So that's why we have a graph like this. So this line represents the core loss. This line represents the copper loss. For example, say 0, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Assume that here load, here we have a copper loss. So it's a transformer. That means in the output, that is the secondary, we connect the electrical load. So that we have electrical load. So we see once again, for understanding the electrical load, it's a pure resistive load. That means the load, resistive load, we have a I square R losses. If the load increases, the resistance. So like this. So for 0, we have a point here. For the load current I square. If the load 2 units means the copper loss becomes 4 units because the copper loss depends upon the I square R. Here load, here copper loss, I square R loss is a 1 unit like this. So the graph like this, and this is for the core loss. This is for the copper loss. In general, we have like this. So idea behind this, it is a fixed one. It is a variable one. and sometimes we call us to get these iron losses or core losses, we conduct no load. Because as I said, the copper loss is directly proportional to the load. If the load increases, it increases. So that's why it is a copper loss, it is a full load loss. And core loss is a no load loss. So fixed loss, fixed loss or no load loss, variable loss or full load loss. Another thing is, it is difference in general is directly proportional to the voltage. This is directly proportional to the difference current. If the voltage increases, the iron losses is varying. Let me discuss later. V square naught depends upon the voltage. Core loss is depends upon the voltage. Copper loss is depends upon the current. So now this core loss or iron loss is further classified into two. One is a hysteresis losses, another is a eddy current losses. Hysteresis losses, eddy current losses. And we have a copper losses, we have a primary winding, secondary winding. Both the windings are they are bound by the copper. So both the windings we have a copper losses are there. Both primary winding and secondary winding, both the windings we have a copper losses. As I said, the copper losses is square of the current. Then so efficiency is equal to output divided by input. So output we get from the secondary, input we give in the primary winding. Suppose we know the core losses and we know the copper losses. Addition of these core losses and copper losses gives the total loss for the particular transformer. Loss which is equal to core loss plus copper loss. Both the losses, addition of these losses gives the total losses. Suppose if we know the input, our objective is to find the efficiency. To find the efficiency, we need the input power and output power. But in the question paper, they give the input power, core losses and copper losses. We need to find the output power. So first thing, we have in given data, core losses and copper losses. Add these two things, we get the losses. So in the given data, they give the input power. So output which is equal to input minus loss, which gives the output. So input minus loss gives the output. We can be able to find the efficiency. Sometimes they give the output power, core losses, iron losses, core losses, copper losses. So once again, efficiency, output divided by input. In the given data, we have an output. So input which is equal to output plus losses. So it depends upon the question paper, we must choose that. Now, our objective is, this is the efficiency. Now we need to find the core losses and copper losses. So we have, as I said, losses. We have two. One is core, another is copper. From the core losses, we find the core losses from the open circuit. To find the copper losses, we go for a short circuit. So core loss means open circuit, copper loss means short circuit. Now, how to conduct the open circuit, how to conduct the short circuit. So assume that you have a transformer, we have a primary winding, we have a secondary winding. So here we say that no load. That means for a transformer, what is the load? We are connecting the load in the secondary side. So assume that like this. Now the transformer is connected with the AC supply and the secondary is connected to the load. Okay, this is the actual transformers. Now we conduct the no load test. To conduct the no load test, we need to open the load, which means the secondary is disconnected with the load. This means there is a no load in the secondary. So this is a circuit diagram for the no load. Okay.
Mr. Selvam? Mr. Selvam?
We have from this load now.
Mr. Selvam?
Yes, sir.
Are you showing any slides?
Yes, sir. So you are not able to see the slide.
No, no.
Now I have seen the slide.
Yes, now I can see.
So we have a transformer. So this is the primary winding. Here we have a secondary winding. The primary winding connected with the AC voltage source, and the secondary winding connected with the load. Now I represent the arrow mark. That means it's a variable load. When load increases, the current increases. Now our objective is to find the losses. Losses means we have two losses. One is the core losses, another is the copper losses. So first step, we need to find the core loss. Core loss, we find the core losses by conducting the no load test. That the word itself, we have a no load. So that's why I disconnect the load from the secondary winding. Now the load is disconnected from the secondary winding. That I can't. Now the circuit is a no load circuit. no load circuit. Now we give the power supply to the primary winding. As I said, there is no load. That means this transformer does not consume no power because we didn't give it any load. Even though there is no load in the secondary, that the primary winding not the primary winding, the transformer consumes some power. How we find that power? By counting the wattmeter. This is the wattmeter. Now we see this wattmeter. This wattmeter reads some value. This wattmeter reads some value. Say, for example, say 100 watts. Assume that we have 100 watts. Even though there is no load, but this watt transformer consumes some power. That power is used for the core losses. Because we didn't use any load. So all the power is replaced for this transformer, which is used for this core losses and hysteresis losses and eddy current losses. So that is the eddy current losses, hysteresis losses. We commonly see that eddy current core losses. This 100 watts represent the core losses. So we represent W0. Okay. So from this circuit, this wattmeter reads core losses. Now we have a primary winding, secondary winding. So the primary windings, we give the primary, we have give the power supply to the primary winding. We have a load in the secondary winding. Now we disconnect the load. Now we disconnect the load and short circuit. Now to conduct the short circuit, we remove the load and short circuit the secondary winding. Okay. Short circuit secondary winding. Now we give the power supply to the primary winding. So though we have a secondary winding short circuit, that it consumes a huge power. So we apply that by adjusting this. We are giving the short circuit test. Now this wattmeter reads some value. Now this wattmeter reads some value. This wattmeter reading, because this short circuit means the short circuit means all the power is go to that secondary. So this wattmeter reads the full load power. So this wattmeter, this power represents the copper losses. So from no load test, we get W0. W stands for power, O stands for no load. And the short circuit test, we get WSC. This is called as a copper loss. This is core loss. So add these two things, we get the total losses. Okay. Now our objective is to find the equivalent circuit. To find the equivalent circuit, we need to conduct two tests. One is the no load test, another one is the short circuit test. From the no load test and short circuit test, we find the equivalent circuit. We need to find the equivalent circuit parameters. Before going to that, see here, we have a R0, X0, R01 and X01. This R0, X0 we find from the no load test. From no load test, we find the R0, X0. We find this R01, X01, we find from the short circuit test. Okay. So once again, sometimes we simply write like this. So this is the simplified equivalent circuit. So this circuit we have only 4 parameters: R0, X0, R01 dash, X01 dash. Or simply we shall R01, X01. We have 4 things. This is we get from the no load test. This is we get from the short circuit test. And here we have a current. This current we know I0. We represent I0. So I stands for the current. O stands for the no load. So no load test, which is used to find the core losses, and which is no load test or core losses, which is help to find the core losses and to find the R0 and X0. First step, secondary becomes open circuit. Two, we have here to measure the current. The ammeter is connected to the primary, even though we say this current, this ammeter represent to the ammeter which is used to measure the no load current. And this is the voltmeter which is used to measure the no load voltage. And this wattmeter which is used to measure the no load power. Okay. Secondary circuit is open circuit. Now, to conduct the no load test or to find that R naught X naught, we apply rated voltage. Rated voltage in the primary winding. We apply the rated voltage in the primary winding. So that's why we are introducing this, which is represented as a variable AC. Or we call it an auto transformer, variac or auto transformer. That means in here we do that phase neutral. By adjusting this slide, we can able to apply the variable voltage. Suppose if it is like here means all the voltage are appeared here. So by adjusting this slide, we can able to apply the applied voltage. We can able to vary. So we apply the rated voltage in the primary winding by adjusting this variac. So for example, say this transformer, we have a 230 bar 110 voltage and 1 kilowatts. Assume that this transformer rating is 230 bar 110 volt, 1 kilowatts power rating. That means the primary winding is 230 voltage. That we need to apply the 230 voltage because the rated voltage is 230. So this voltmeter represents 230 voltage. Now we adjust the variac and we see the voltmeter. If the voltmeter attains 230, we stop. Then 230, we stop. Now this ammeter reads some value. That value we call as a no load current. And this wattmeter read one value. That wattmeter is called as a no load power. So in general, keep in the mind, in general, this I naught is 10% of rated current. 10% of rated current. So sometimes they may ask in that exam. Here we have a total power. Here we have a rated voltage. So from this we can be able to find the rated current, primary current. So in general, 10% of rated current. So from the no load test, we have a value W naught, V naught, I naught. By using these meters, we find this value. Formula for the power which is equal to V I cos theta. Here we are using the notation 0 O no load. So that's why V naught, I naught, cos pi naught. So from the meter, we have the from wattmeter we have the watt W naught. From voltmeter we have a V naught. From ammeter we have a I naught. We are not able to measure the power factor. So we have the formula. From this formula, we can be able to find the cos pi naught. Cos pi naught, which is equal to W naught divided by V naught I naught. Or we represent a V1 because why we put a V1 means it is V naught it is a rated voltage. So default V0 which is equal to the applied voltage V1. So that's why we put a V1. As I said, we have a this is I0. This R0 and X0 are connected in parallel. So that means this I0 current divided into two parts. The current flow in the resistance we call as IW. Current flow in the inductance we call as I mu. So it's a resistance. So we put here cos theta. It is an inductance. So we put a sin theta. We can be able to remember like this. So IW we call as a working component and I mu we call as a magnetizing component. This helps to find so working component, it is a magnetic component. It is used so working component which is equal to I naught cos theta and magnetic component I naught sin theta. So we have a formula. What is from Ohm's law? Resistance which is equal to V by I. R is equal to V by I. Voltage, what is that? This resistance is voltage across the resistance is V1 voltage. So that's why we have V1 by what is the current flow through the resistance? IW. So V1 divided by IW, which gives the resistance. And capacitance, sorry, reactance, V1 divided by I mu gives the X naught. So once again, from this slide, no load test. First step, core loss, to find the core loss. From the no load, we find the R naught, X naught. And from no load, we find the working component and magnetizing component. So these four things we must remember from this no load test. And we apply the rated voltage. We apply the rated voltage. And in general, the no load current I naught, which is equal to 10% of rated current. Rated current means from the nameplate detail. So these are the details from this no load. Next, we have a short circuit. So assume that we have a cycle, we are riding a bicycle for 10 kilometers. This is the actual load. That is like this. We have a load. Now, the secondary is connected with a now the secondary is connected with a load, connected with variable load. Assume that we have a 230 bar lamp, 110 volt, 1 kilowatts. So now, by varying this resistance, we increasing the load. For first, we have assumed that this load we have a 10 lamps. 10 lamps are connected in parallel like this. Each lamp we have a 100 watts. So for parallel, addition of all the loads, we have total load. So first I put a 1 lamp is on, second 2 lamps like this by increasing the load. And when I put all the 10 lamps on means we are giving that 100 that 1 kilowatts. That means we give full load. So at that time, this ammeter reads the full load current because in the secondary I connect all the 10 loads 10 into 100 watts, which is used 1000 watts. That is the rated watts. By increasing the load current is increasing. One particular point, we reach the rated current. Okay. For 1000 watts, I can be able to use the 10 into 100 watts. For example, we have here 100 megawatt. For 100 megawatt, we are not able to connect the secondary and we do the 100 megawatt load. Okay. So for that purpose, we go for the indirect test. Indirect test means we didn't connect the load. As I said, for 100 watts, it is approximately 4.5 amps. So by adjusting this now, what I did, I short circuit the secondary, I remove the load, I short circuit, but now I am increasing the voltage. I see the ammeter. Initially, the ammeter is increasing, and one particular point is reached 4.5 amps. That means we give the full load condition. Now we giving the hello. I remove the load. I short circuited. Instead of giving the full voltage, I gradually increasing the voltage. 0 voltage, 5 voltage, 10 voltage, 20 voltage. One particular voltage, this ammeter is 4.5. That means indirectly we give the rated current. Now this volt, we see the voltmeter, it is the 10% of rated voltage.